I'm here with Enrico Marocco. He's technical lead service layer at Telecom Italia. Enrico, thank you for joining us. We're here at the WebRTC Summit. What's Telecom Italia's plans for WebRTC?
Well, we have been working on WebRTC for like more than 2 years now. And well, our plan is to actually integrate it into our network, into our service exposure platforms, the platforms that we use to allow external parties, third-party developers, they are both internal and external, into their own services, to integrate telco capabilities into their own services. So that's one side of how we are looking at WebRTC. And then we want to integrate it into our own real services for interoperability with the traditional ones and for new services.
Okay, and so what do you see as the main benefits? Why are you pursuing WebRTC?
Well, WebRTC is by all means the most powerful tool we have ever had in our hands for building communication services. It is a high-performing media stack that is available basically everywhere, billions of browsers and billions of mobile devices, and it's developed by the people who are doing media at the top level. So that's the first benefit for WebRTC, and that will allow us to put our services in places that we never thought of putting them.
Okay, and what about the obstacles? What needs to be resolved before WebRTC can go mainstream?
Well, WebRTC is an over-the-top technology in the sense that it has been built by over-the-top people with the over-the-top approach in mind. It uses traditional protocols, but in a way that is quite unusual in the traditional telco networks. And I think all the main obstacles rely there, like the encryption every time, everywhere. That's something that we have to deal with. End-to-end encryption particularly is an issue in the sense that end-to-end encryption is not something that really happens in telco services. Right? There is always a mediated end-to-end encryption. WebRTC is end-to-end period.
So the challenge is bringing these two worlds together with very different traditions and protocols, etc.
Exactly. Yeah, from one side they are close because they use the same protocols, but they are diverging on the way they're using those protocols. That were probably the main challenges with that.
Okay, and final question, how much progress do you expect to see in 2014?
I expect that on the telco side of the industry, I expect we will see the first commercial WebRTC services within 2014, but in constrained environments. I mean, in environments where you can make safe assumptions, for example, on the browsers that people will use or on the devices that people will use. I mean, the Mayday Amazon service is a very good example of a constrained environment where, the real-time communication application is based on WebRTC, and WebRTC plays a very big role in there. And we expect to see more of the likes in the next month.
So a very particular use case, a single use case.
Could be a conference center use case, could be, but not. Probably 2015 will be the year for the consumer market. 2014 will be the year we'll start seeing interesting things in the business sector and in constrained cases that we will show popping up in the next months.